All right, y'all, we are live on this beautiful Monday morning. Blessings to everybody in the name of Jesus, Yeshua, the Messiah. Even if you are not religious, I still pray you and your family are super blessed as Bitcoin is down to the wire. Right now, we are seeing some very, very interesting developments on the chart as we are consolidating in this white box, which we know is either going to be consolidation before an epic breakout, or this is a lower high in the beginning of a bigger pullback heading down toward $60,000 or lower. So what's happening right now is very, very key, and we're going to be discussing it because right now all that matters to us is what happens within this white box, because this is going to determine what Bitcoin does for the rest of the week. By the way, guys, happy April Fool's Day. What a great day it is to be a fool out here on the internet with a Pikachu hat on top of his regular hat and a plunger on the face, all right, drinking coffee from a cup with a set of uneven butt cheeks on them. All right, by the way, this is just your friendly daily reminder that this is not financial advice, and I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a fool on the internet. And if you listen to anything I say, you're also probably a fool on the internet. So now that that's out of the way, huge shout out to the sponsors of the channel. First of all, huge shout out to Market Cipher, all right, #1 trading indicator on TradingView. Also, huge shout out to MEXC, best deal on fees for the next few months. And also shout out to BingX, because BingX is also, if you sign up now using my link, you get up to $6,200 to trade with. All right, I also have to give a big, massive shout out to ZOOMEX. All right, guys, ZOOMEX, the other exchange I'm currently trading on that does not require VPN or KYC in the United States. All right, major shout out to the Casper crew in the long trade, still the juicy long trade that we gave from the exact bottom. All right, we are in multiple long trades over here on Bitcoin. All of these setups given in the Casper crew VIP Discord, as well as this juicy long setup given last week in advance during the New York Open live stream. Shout out to the Casper crew. And shout out to everybody right now in the chat. Let's see who we have in the chat right now. Huge shout out to Robert Jones. He says, "You the man." Robert, I disagree. You the man, my friend. You the man. Huge shout out to Gazgano. Huge shout out to Aaron G. Huge shout out to Alyssa Walis L. What's happening? Lots of stuff is happening on Bitcoin. Shout out to Tyler. He says, "Happy Invisible Trance." Happy Invisible Trance to you. Shout out to Dermish, who says, "Duco, right back at you. Do go to take some profits on these juicy Bitcoin long trades." All right, shout out to Javad Sharafi. God bless you all. All right, shout out to CH. He says, "Pump, it's going to break out, baby." Huge shout out to Aaron G holding it down with the wrench. I think I already shouted him out, but he deserves 2 shout outs. All right, shout out to Beyond the Stars Astrology. Says, "To the moon." Shout out to Stupid Bitcoin trying to bust the VWAP. Shout out to Vanessa Wong, put up the Carl buying MCD video. Oh, are you talking about the, let's see. Hang on, you're talking about the VIP stream this morning? Yeah, guys, the VIP stream this morning, man, check out the thumbnail for that one. A nice thumbnail here. Let's see if we can see it. Yeah, luxury shopping spree in Dubai. Your boy Jason Casper, Carl from the Moon, took Jason Casper on a shopping spree. All right, people say I just copy and pasted the thumbnail from Carl's video, live shopping spree in Dubai. That's not true. We actually went together, as can be shown in the video proof of me and him driving together.
Hello, I would like to get a Big Mac meal.
And yes, the blog is coming out very soon, guys. Huge shout out to Samuel Jansen. Huge shout out to the Dusty Hunt. He's walking off the hollow chocolate bunnies. Well, at least they were hollow, my friend, all right? At least they were hollow. At least they weren't full all the way through, okay? Shout out to Joe Potter. Shout out to Crypto Hub. Shout out to Jason Gillespie. Shout out to Neil. He says, "Bro, bet you're pumped for that newborn to get here." I'm pumped for him to be like 2 years old, all right, Neil? I'll be honest with you, man. I'm not a baby guy, all right? Is that wrong of me? Nah, I don't mind babies. They just chill. They chill, you know. The wife really does everything until they're a little bit older. But, yeah, you know, I'm not stoked on sleepless nights every 2 hours waking up. And I'm more stoked on him being 2 years old and being able to play and talk and have a good time, right? All right, shout out to Dazed Trader in the chat. All right. Guys, as usual, if we can get 1,000 likes in the first half hour, we will be giving away 1,000 USD Tizzle. All right, that's another word for USDT. All right. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. Let's get into this Bitcoin price action, guys. All right, Bitcoin has gotten a bounce right now from the VWAP. All right, we're gonna take a look at what's going on here because it is very interesting right now, guys. What is happening with this Bitcoin price action? All right, now first of all, we do have ourselves a secret zone of resistance just above us. All right, we have a very secret zone of resistance on our chart as Bitcoin is getting the move. So what is the context of the move? On the daily time frame, we have seen Bitcoin make a high right up here, and potentially now everybody's wondering, as we said at the beginning of the video, is Bitcoin about to make a lower high right here and then come down lower? Why would Bitcoin make a lower high here and come down lower? Well, because this is our white box that we've had on our chart now for quite some time, right? If we go over to the trade setup that we gave in the Casper crew, we have been saying now for over a week that this white box is the make it or break it area because this is the region between the 618 and the 786 Fibonacci level, right? Now, many of us are aware that the 618 Fibonacci level is very, very key resistance, right? It's very, very key resistance. We also are aware that she is a girl, and she looks like this. Her name is Six Juanita, and when we ask Six Juanita out on a date, we get rejected. Why? Because we're in the friend zone, right? But Six Juanita has an older sister named 786ia. All right, so if we go ahead and we pull our fib on the chart here, and we put on the two very important levels, the 618 and the 786, we can see that actually, interestingly enough, Six Juanita actually did go on a date with us this time. But then we come up to her sister, the 786 Fibonacci, and she absolutely rejected us. She punched us in the face, and it hurt. It hurt as if a strong bearded man had punched us in the face. And so if we cannot break out of this 786 level, this very well could be a lower high for Bitcoin. Okay, but we have to understand that we have been trading right now in a range within this area of resistance, right? So that's what's so interesting about Bitcoin. We are at resistance and we are consolidating within this sideways chunk of price action here. Okay, what does this mean? Well, it means right now, when we are looking for trades, whether we think Bitcoin is going to pump or whether we think Bitcoin is going to dump, this is the area that this is the area that we need to be looking for trades in. Now, last night, what did we do? We came back down and we actually took these lows from Friday. Now, if you've been watching the channel, I even said in my video yesterday that I wouldn't be surprised if we take these lows. But here's really what needs to happen right now. The Bitcoin price has gotten a bounce from the local 786 Fibonacci. All right, that's what happened last night. We came down here, we got a bounce from the local 786 Fibonacci right at 68,961 to the dollar, and we are still trading within this range. What we don't want to see right now is Bitcoin lose this range. If Bitcoin loses this range, we are most likely going to come much lower. Where are we probably going to come to? Well, there's a few things. If this is going to just give us basically something like this, where we actually make a nice rounded bottom, then we're looking around the 65,000, I'd say the $64,500 level is going to be where we find support, right? So the next major long trade we should be looking for, if we're going to be breaking down from our local box, is going to be that area right around that Fibonacci golden pocket, all right? Now, it's also the value area low of this more macro range. So this, if we start to lose our level, we can expect to move down to around that $65,000 zone, right? Now, if we lose that $65,000 zone, well, then we need to expect a bigger correction. Why do we need to expect a bigger correction? Because we are trading right now in a range having printed a weekly red dot on Market Cipher B. Now, historically speaking, when we get the weekly red dots on Market Cipher B, it means in general, sideways and down, right? So we can't think we're going to escape this sideways and down because this time's different, right? Every single red dot since the bottom on the weekly time frame has given us sideways and down of at least 20% before another bigger move to the upside. Okay? So this is very, very important that we understand that. We could get a significant move to the downside here. Where would some targets be to the downside? Well, target number one is going to be $60,000. All right. Target number two is going to be the low 50s. Why the low 50s? Because if we zoom out of this chart here, we can see that the low 50 area is very key support resistance going all the way back to the previous bull market. It was support in April and May of 2021. It was resistance in August of 2021. It was then flipped back into resistance again in December 2021. And then we actually have a weekly order block right on that level before the big breakout in February 2024. So these are the major levels that we need to be aware of on Bitcoin in the event of a pullback. And this should not be scary to anybody. This should be, honestly, if we get a pullback on Bitcoin, we need to understand that the context of the market right now is very, very bullish. All right, a pullback to $52,000 is very, very bullish. This is one of the areas I am personally looking for a very juicy swing trade. And the reason is because if we just put a trend line through the last two major pivot lows in this uptrend, what do you know? When we come down here, we have a nice zone of intersectionality. All right, intersectionality. Now, intersectionality, when you see intersectionality, it makes the trades get triggered. Shout out to all our fat, white, ambiguously gendered college students majoring in trans, non-carbon, binary emission gender studies. This is actually a picture of me right after I got my own degree in trans, non-carbon, binary emission gender studies. And I learned all about intersectionality, which is what actually got me into trading, because after I graduated with my degree, surprisingly, no one would hire me, even though I had my master's and PhD in trans, non-carbon, binary emission gender studies. So I had to figure out a way to pay off the hundreds and thousands of dollars of student debt. Because I knew a lot about intersectionality, I said, you know what? I better learn how to trade, because when you see intersectionality on a chart, that's when you want to go in. Now check this out, right? Check this out for a second. We pull a fib from low to high. Would you look at this, guys? Would you look at this? Right on our zone of the chart, where we see lots of intersectionality, we see the Fibonacci golden pocket. We see the trend line. We see the weekly order block. We see the historic support resistance flip as Bitcoin respects a trend line here. Now, am I saying this is going to happen? No. All right. But I'm saying if it does happen, man, that would be juicy. What would we want to see on Market Cipher be? We would want to see a momentum wave come down below that 60 line, giving us a lower low on the momentum as the price comes down into something like this probably, right? That would be a really nice swing trade setup right there. All right, absolutely beautiful. Now, let's take a look locally at what's happening with Bitcoin, because we do have some interesting developments on the chart. We're going to take a look here at the order flow chart, because, believe it or not, guys, we have actually seen a significant amount of shorting happening here, and the shorts have been unable to push the price to the downside here. We've been seeing this entire time people opening up fresh short trades, and as the trades are getting lower, as people are shorting, as we're seeing people shorting here, the price is unable to get lower. This is actually known as bullish CVD. Let's go ahead and take a look at the CoinLines chart here so we can see with a little bit more clarity. But yeah, so right now, guys, would you check this out? As we have been getting this move to the upside here, making higher lows, all right, we're actually seeing a lot more short trades opening up here than long trades. It's actually quite interesting. In fact, we saw a lot of shorts trapped right at this bottom here. We saw a lot of shorts trapped at this low right here. And now, as we're going higher, we're seeing more and more shorts opening up. What does this mean? It appears right now, in the moment, as if there is a bigger player here. All right, we'll call it a big mouth whale. All right, let's draw ourselves a nice big beluga style whale here. All right. Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah, Jason, man, you know, you are really good at drawing. And this whale, he's got some sharp teeth, man. He's got some sharp teeth. Alright? Meh. Isn't this crazy? This is crazy, man. I shouldn't have majored in trans non-carbon. I should have majored in art. It appears as if there's some bigger players here actually absorbing retail traders shorting this low, looking like we could get a push to the upside here. And something else to consider is the fact that Bitcoin right now is holding the VWAP. All right, as we hold the VWAP, in my opinion, this is actually quite bullish, right? If we can hold above this VWAP here, this is actually quite bullish for Bitcoin because, again, we saw shorts trapped at the low. Would you look at this? Let's actually take a look at this low. Look at this, guys. The low was made on a very increase of open interest here. A very increase of open interest. This is another reason why you know this is not financial advice. I don't even know how to speak English properly. All right, let's go to the 15-minute time frame. We can actually see how many people shorted. Usually when you see these big wicks, they happen with a big decrease of open interest, people getting wrecked. This is actually, we actually saw shorts opening up here, right? We actually saw shorts opening up here, a few million of them, 2 million here, about a million here, you know, so like 4 million shorts. Then we saw another like 1.5 million shorts. And then 1.3 million shorts literally at the bottom of this candle. Very interesting. 1.6 million shorts at the very bottom here. And they are still, as we can see on the chart here, it looks like the majority of these shorts, guys, are still open. Because throughout the entirety of this move, we've seen more and more shorts coming in. Very interesting developments. That means, guys, if we can hold this VWAP, I expect that we see a bigger push to the upside. And we do need to be aware right now that we have an area of resistance just above us called the secret resistance. All right, the secret level of resistance. This is a top secret level of resistance. All right, so if we can hold above this VWAP, I would assume we make it up to the secret level of resistance around $70,400. Around $70,400. And if we can reclaim the secret level at $70,400, we very well may see Bitcoin continue with a move to the upside. All right. Right now, we are fighting with the high volume node of the range, which is why we're finding resistance here. But we also have to remember that on a TPO chart, if we take a look at a TPO chart here, we created some single prints on the way down. So basically, this one candle, I don't know if you guys can see from your screen. Let's see. Hang on. No. Yeah, okay, look at this, all right. This one candle here, this 1/2 hour candle came all the way down to here and left behind single prints. And now we're actually in the middle of these single prints. And so honestly, the probabilities are higher right now that we do come up to fill the single prints at around $70,400, right? So very, very, very key area right now that Bitcoin is in. Let's see what happens here. Can we maintain a kind of a bullish market structure here or not? All right, because if we can and we continue to hold above the VWAP as we're chopping around it, right? We're just chopping around it right now. But if we can hold above it, we do have a lot of those short straps could be fuel for a move to the upside. All right, shout out to everybody in the chat right now. All right, let me open up the chat and see who we got. We'll open up the chat and see who we got in the chat. All right, huge shout out to Discover Crypto in the chat. Good to see you here, Discover Crypto. Shout out to the Visionary. Says, I'm such a Picasso when it comes to art. I appreciate that. Shout out to TUI Enterprises. Shout out to Bakir. He says the VWAP is lost. I wouldn't call it lost yet. All right, I wouldn't call it lost yet. We're chopping around it, all right? We're chopping around it. We're chopping around it, okay? We are chopping around it. I wouldn't consider it lost yet. I would not consider that lost yet. I got a ladybug on my face, man. Gross. But let's pull some more volume right here and let's keep our eyes on this. Yeah, let's keep our eyes on this. Also, let's pull a little fib here. See if we got something. Yeah. It's not looking the best, guys, but I'd say we're chopping. All right? Let's go to the 1 minute market cipher. She's not looking the best. She's not looking the best, but in general, I'd say that would suck to really lose the VWAP. In general, I have some other thoughts here. I'm sure some of you might know what those thoughts are. All right, let's see who else we got in the chat. Shout out to RC for the super chat. Do I have a Caspa bag? No, I do not. All right, shout out to Joe Potter with the ladybugs. Can we take a look at Chainlink? Yeah, we might be able to take a look at Chainlink. Bernie says, send help, bro. I'm stuck in a long from 68,900. That's good, man. 68,900. Have you taken some profits? I mean, that's a really good long, man. What do you mean help? You longed the exact bottom, bro. What do you mean help? You're in the best position you could possibly be in. I hope you TP1 and stop loss to entry. That's literally an amazing risk to reward ratio. All right, shout out to Heisenberg. He says, you're such a Dolores when it comes to a 4-hour div. Well, you know, yes, that's true. And shout out to Dolores, by the way, with the uneven butt cheeks. All right. All right, shout out to Ginger Cat. Made 50% on a 1% trade overnight. That's amazing. That's amazing. Shout out to Michuana. Ladybugs in the thousands for my garden. They kill unwanted bugs. That is a good thing about ladybugs. That is a good thing about ladybugs. All right, so yeah, Bitcoin dumping, guys. It looks like maybe we're not going to see what we wanted to see here. Let's kind of check this out. Let's go back to our CoinLize chart here and see what's happening. All right, are we seeing new traders opening up positions here? The answer is not really, right? Not really. We're not really seeing that. We're seeing a decrease of trades opening right here. All right, so pretty much it's longs closing out, but we still do have a lot of shorts open. So look, I would love to hold above the VWAP, because if so, we could get more upside. But right now, I don't like it, because it's showing me that shorters are in control, right? They're in control if we don't hold that VWAP. All right. Now, the only hope we have here, well, there's a few options, all right? I'm not going to get into them all right now, okay? There's a few options. I'm not going to get into them all right now, okay? But there's a few options right now for potential long trades, honestly, for today. Because one thing I do want to point out about market Cipher B right now, guys, is if we do put in a lower low and get some kind of a bounce, we will be seeing bullish divergences on every single time frame, basically from the 1 hour all the way down to our very low time frames like the 6-minute, with money flow also increasing over time. So please keep that in mind, right? Please keep that in mind, that we are at support. Like when we zoom out here, okay, we are trading a sideways range, and we are seeing bullish divergences start to form as we come down to the low of this sideways range. So please keep that in mind, because when I say if we lose this, we can come down much lower, that is the truth. But just because we lose it doesn't mean we're going to go straight down, okay? If we have bullish divs here, we might do something like this, right? Maybe we do something like this. You know, who knows? But right now, I would say we are seeing bullishness as we come to the low of this chart. So let that be a word of caution for anybody who's FOMOing short right now, okay? Because if we take this low, that would look extremely bullish on the 12-minute time frame. It would look just as bullish as what happened on Friday, right? On Friday, in the Casper crew, we took this long trade right here, and over the weekend, it was a very juicy trade. I mean, it was almost a 4% move over the weekend. All right, and the reason why we took that trade, the reason why I took that trade, and you know, I took that trade. I told everybody I longed, right? Because in the Casper crew, we give the analysis, we give updates, we let people know what we're doing, right? The reason why I took this long trade is because as we came to that level, the 12-minute market Cipher B was looking very similar to what it could look like if we get another low here, right? So just be reminded that we are trading a sideways range, and getting ultra bearish at the bottom of a sideways range is not necessarily the best move for you. All right. Aaron G says hold 69.5 and we are okay. I agree with you, Aaron G. Shout out to Aaron G. Shout out to Aaron G. All right, Bitcoin. We're chopping around that VWAP. Let's see if we can't get a little bit of a reclamio of the VWAP. All right, a reclamio. All right, longs open at the bottom. Once those start closing, we got to move down. We got longs opening up just now at the bottom. Is that what you're trying to say? Shout out to Joe Potter. He says, flush all the paper hands so we can go to 100K. It only dipped 1,000 points. Can you please look at Raven? We might be able to look at Raven. Is MEXC about to require KYC? Yes, unfortunately, that is true. That MEXC, I just got an email last night. MEXC is going to be requiring KYC, which is very, honestly, I hate that fact. All right, I hate that fact. All right, should we check out BOEM? Everyone's talking about BOEM in the chat. We'll check out BOEM. As you guys know, I've loaded up on some BOEM a while ago. All right, Book of Meme. All right, BOEM finally starting to get a little bit of a move here, guys. BOEM finally starting to get a little bit of a move. Let's check it out. So, look at this. So, I bought BOEM when we broke out of this area right here. All right. I bought it live on the stream as we were breaking out of this, right? Then we said I would look to get it again if we get a bounce from the Fibonacci golden pocket, I guess from the last swing low to the high. Did we get that? Yeah, we did get that, right? But it was a very weak kind of bounce for a long time. We bounced and then we came below it and now we're finally pumping, right? So yeah, BOEM, I'm bullish on it. And the reason I'm bullish on BOEM is because it's called Book of Meme. And we're in a bull market. That's literally the only reason why I'm bullish on BOEM. It's because it's called Book of Meme and we're in a bull market. So right now, we are up on our BOEM. And look, where is this thing going to go to? Well, I would say a good target right now for at least securing some profits would just be this, right? After it listed, it pumped up to here, about 3 cents. I say 3 cents is a good area to shoot for a target, and then after we're making a new high, then we can go ahead and pull our fib from the lows to wherever we make that new high, and then we can look to get back in on the golden pocket retest here, which would basically be a support resistance flip of this area, right? That's kind of my plan for BOEM. We're in price discovery, so we can't really know what it's going to do. All right, Bitcoin right now is taking a pretty significant move to the downside here. All right, so let's go to our 3-minute chart. All right, so now it does look like we have, in fact, lost the VWAP. Not a good look for Bitcoin. Not a good look for Bitcoin right now locally. But again, I would be aware of the bullish money flow that is forming here. Let's see, somebody said we had some longs long the top. Not really. We had a lot of longs kind of close out here. And in general, I would say that this whole thing here is making me feel like we could see some bullishness later on in the day, right? Maybe I'm wrong here, guys, but when I see shorts being absorbed, when I see bullishness forming on market Cipher B, it makes me feel like people are going to be expecting lower, and lower never comes, right? People are going to be expecting lower, and lower never comes. All right, shout out to Crypto Ric Flair. He says Slurf. Should we take a look at Slurf? When am I going to stop using MEXC? Well, I'm going to try and get my Paolo Lulu ID before that. But yeah, June, the end of June is when I have to stop. So on my 10th wedding anniversary, I will be no longer able to trade on MEXC. So I'll be doing BingX and ZOOMEX. And maybe, I don't know, I'll have to look at the billions and trillions of exchanges that hit me up every day to affiliate with them. Like literally billions. If you're a YouTuber out there in the crypto, you get so many these exchanges. You know what's hilarious? They have these teams of people, these PR people, and they email all these YouTubers and stuff. And I'm no joke. Every day I get messages from people. They're like, "Hey, Jason, I just saw your channel. I love your channel. Have you ever heard of MEXC?" I'm like, "No, I never heard of it." I'm like, "Who are some other YouTubers that you work with?" And they always send me like these random like small channels and like people in other countries. Oh, interesting. Oh, interesting. Yeah. I've never heard of MEXC. I'll check it out. I'll check it out. Thanks for checking out my channel. I'll check out your exchange. All right, let's see. We got some super chats in the house here. Let's see. All right, so speaking of our chats, most people think Bitcoin has just put in a lower high. And if that is the case, all right, then look, if we do break down from the range, I will be frank with you guys. I will add to the hedge short. Once we break down from the box of resistance here, I'm going to add to my hedge short so that my entry comes down to around 71.6. All right. I closed out half this short trade, as you guys know if you've been following the channel, because I was convinced last week that we were going to make a new high when I saw very bullish signs down here. All right. I was pretty convinced of it. Obviously, that did not happen. So I took 12K of unrealized out of the trade. I still have $150,000 in the trade. I'm looking to add another $50,000 into the trade so I can have a $200,000 position short to potentially come down to some of those lower targets. All right. Let's check out our super chats. All right. Huge shout out to RC Moore. I don't have a Caspa bag. Shout out to Ric Flair, Slurf, and shout out to Singularity XX. Can we look at big time? Why hasn't this thing gone up? All right, yeah, we could take a look at some Slurf. All right, take a look at some Slurf. Is it Slurf with an E or Slurf with a U? Is it a Smurf? I don't know. Everything looks Smurfy and Teletubby-ish on Jason Casper's charts because he uses blue and purple candles. But what do you expect from a stupid YouTuber? You know? Okay, Slurf. Wow. 4-hour money flow looks good. So, I mean, when I look at this chart here, all right? When I look at the chart, is this the right chart? Let me just double check here. Yeah, no, it is with a U, all right? It's with a U, all right? SLURF. Slurf. Yeah, I thought this didn't look like anything that we've seen. It's not on Slurf. It's not on, hang on. SLURF. There we go. Wait. Is it with an E or a U, guys? Let me know in the chat, all right? Yeah, I'm in Bohm. We just took a look at Bohm. Shout out to Dano Crypto. Just came off the Moon Show. Shout out to the Moon Show. Shout out to Carl from the Moon. Guys, is it a U? It's an E. Okay, it's an E. All right, Slurf. All right. When I take a look at this thing, Slurf, there's been a lot of people talking about it, laughing about it, and I've been ignoring it because that's typically what I do. But, look, all I can say is this. Slurf right now, it obviously has this low at about 51.26 cents. If we can come and take this low, that would be very nice looking for a nice bounce, I have to say. That'd be pretty nice looking for a bounce. Just because we're forming some bullish divergences here. Let's check out our 3-hour money flow. Yeah, 3-hour money flow looks good. But other than that, I would say Slurf, if we are going to make another low like that, we could start to say that we are forming somewhat of this kind of pattern here, like a channel-y flag thingy, right? Maybe even like a falling wedge. Let's take this off log scale. Yeah, like some kind of consolidation triangle pattern thingy, right? So yeah, I don't really know what the heck is going to happen with Slurf, but if we're bullish on it, this would definitely be a place where I would start to accumulate the asset. And that's a really cheap Slurf, all right? That's a cheap Slurf right there. All right, Bitcoin taking a tumble. Bitcoin taking a tumble, all right, big time. Yeah, let's take a look at big time. I can't really give too many thoughts on Slurf because there's not much data here. All right, big time. Why is this thing not pumping? Wow. Well, we've come back down to these lows. Let's go to the 4-hour. Okay, so big time. Yeah, so we were looking from way back in the day at this box, which we did wick down to. Right now, we could say big time is consolidating within a sideways range. We could say it's consolidating within a sideways range. Look, I would have to still say that I don't see anything here really that I like besides coming back down into this green box here. Green box would look really nice. You could make a case that we've kind of switched into some bullish market structure here. I don't really like the look of this chart here. Eventually it is going to pump, but I don't see a buy or an entry right now. I do not. All right, we're in the middle of no man's land. All right, let's take a look at Bitcoin because Bitcoin is taking a pretty big dump here. All right, let's go to our 12-minute. All right, Bitcoin definitely has lost that zone here. All right, so we do need to be watchful of coming down to the lows of the range. All right. This is not a very good look for Bitcoin, rejecting from the POC of that range. That's not a good look for Bitcoin. All right, we would want to hold this zone right here. And if we don't hold that zone here, well, I would expect us to take the low that we made this morning where we can look for a bounce. Because let me just say, I would be very interested in a bounce to take out the low that Asia made. Because we would see some pretty bullish signs on multiple time frames here. You guys get what I'm saying? You picking up what I'm putting down? All right, this music is lit, says the Dusty Mountain Climber. All right, is the dollar's bullish, that's bearish for the corn. All right, 69,420 yet again, says Joe Potter. There are no buyers, says Stupid Bitcoin. Shorts are going to get wrecked, says Stephen Dupe. Yeah, let's watch and see. Let's really watch and see what happens here, guys. This is very, very, very interesting price action, I have to say. It's fun to watch because we are seeing some very interesting things forming on the chart. Let's take a look back at the order flow here. Yeah, so actually we're actually seeing a few people long in this dip here. That's not the best thing. So, oh man. Let me think about this, right? Oh, I see. Somebody was talking about longs long at the bottom. Okay, yeah. So here's a good scenario for a nice long from these lows, okay? We do have a lot of longs. We have a lot of shorts, but we also have a lot of longs that opened up here, right? If we put on the net long count and the net short count, we can see that we have a lot of longs that opened in these candles, right? Once these guys get liquidated, if we see a bounce with bullish divergences and a reclaim of the level, that's a very good long entry setup, all right? So basically what I'm saying is there's a lot of people who longed here and a lot of people who shorted here. If we come down again and we're seeing bullish divergences with the money flow getting higher, and then we reclaim that level, like we see a fast bounce with a wick, that's a very good long setup. And the reason why is because we will see those longs get liquidated and stopped out, And we'll probably see more shorts entering down here, thinking we're going to come much lower. And then we're going to see the bullish divs and the money flow getting thicker like this. And then we're going to see the level fake out and bounce. That could be a really nice potential entry here. Now, of course, we would look for this to happen at different areas, right? We could look for it to happen right here. Potentially, we could even look for it to happen right here. But that's like a recipe for a fake out right there. And actually, a pretty nice trade setup potentially here. All right. So make sure to like the stream. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to click the bell for notifications. All right. The dollar's breaking out, says somebody, and they're upset about it. Well, look, we can't be upset about the dollar breaking out, all right? Every single bull run in Bitcoin's history, the dollar breaks out and Bitcoin dumps before the massive pump, all right? So if this is really a lower high on Bitcoin, we should be happy about it, right? We should be happy about that. It's just fulfilling the pattern that it does every single time. Let's check out the dollar. The dollar. Wow. Look at the dollar. All right, look, the dollar, this is our target for the dollar, all right? It's been for a long time. Every single time Bitcoin goes into a big bull run, the dollar breaks out and makes a double top, and then the Bitcoin bull run starts. Happened back here in 2016, happened right here in 2020. You know, I've been expecting it to happen again. I've been expecting it to happen again literally since Bitcoin was in the doldrums, right? This is something we've been talking about for a long time, where I'm expecting the dollar either to make a double top or a higher high with some very bearish divergences, and then that will kickstart everything. That's my opinion, right? What do I know, though? Again, I'm just a dumb YouTuber, all right? They call me DYT. Shout out to my man, Watoshi. Shout out to J-Boy Bullish. Shout out to Erin, says DXY skyrocketing. All right, shout out to Bo Hunt. Should we be concerned about the bearish div forming on the monthly? For Bitcoin, no. Bearish divergences, they form throughout bull markets always. Always. Like, look, I mean, right now you could say that we're like here, right? We're like right around here. Right, we have bear divs forming. It's gonna form. It's always gonna be there. Like, that's just is what it is as we go throughout the market cycles. This monthly has some time to go here, right? I mean, look at how it looked back here, right? Looked like it was gonna start to curve, and then just kidding, right? And then we got more upside. So I'm not too concerned about it right now as we head into the halving, to be honest with you. I'm not concerned about it at all. I think the weekly is giving us a more zoomed in version of the monthly. And the weekly, although it is giving us a bear div here, I think we need to understand that the context is we're looking at these money flow waves, right? And every time it dives into the purple, then when it dips into the blue, we can expect after the halving that to continue, right? So again, we had it dip into the purple. Now I say we can expect this to continue until probably around here, and then it's going to start to come back down in 2025. You know, that's what I would say. All right, Bitcoin dumping. Now we're currently at the Fibonacci golden pocket here, guys. So this is not good. Well, it potentially is good, but this is a very key level that must hold here. This is a very key level. If not, I would expect that we go for those lows again, all right? And, man, I hate to be that guy, but guys, I do have to head out because I have a lot of crazy things to do today. Huge shout out to Noah, who wants to know my thoughts on Bitcoin Cash. I don't really have any thoughts on Bitcoin Cash. I think it's going to pump just like a lot of other altcoins will. I don't have any thoughts on it fundamentally. But, guys, I do have to head out. So may God bless you all. In Jesus' name, even if you are not religious, may the Lord bless you. And, yeah, I'll be back maybe tomorrow, guys. My wife's about to have a baby like any second. So I apologize for the shorter stream today. I love you all. God bless you all. And I will see you soon. Peace.